Hi, my name is Cheryl Camarillo, and I'm hoping that I get a chance to talk with you more about um, betrayal trauma and about finding those first pieces of evidence that make you feel like, gosh, there must be something more going on here than just, oh, we're friends, or oh, I was late, or I have to do, a business trip, or I don't know where this money went. There's all kinds of tip offs that partners, locate or find that make them start to go down the rabbit hole of what's going on here. I am a certified sex addiction therapist and certified sex therapist. I've been working in this field for about 5 years specifically, but a lot of years with the whole trauma, aspect. So, military trauma, childhood trauma, sexual abuse, physical abuse, just all kinds of training to try to figure out, like, how do I help somebody when they come across, my doorway? Um, it's one of those things to be able to, I don't know, share, offer a sense of hope for someone to think maybe that their relationship can be saved, or to get information about possibly what do you do if you decide that you don't want the relationship to go on. So I titled this the first 72 hours, or the first 3 days after discovery. And the discovery could be about anything. It could be that maybe you found out that your partner is seeing someone else, someone that you know, someone that you don't know, maybe a sex worker. Maybe your partner is actually using massage parlors, or, dating apps. There's all kinds of ways for a person to kind of stumble on their partner's sexual behaviors. Problematic sexual behaviors is actually what we call it. I get people that call in all the time, that are asking for extra support, or actually just, is this something that can even be addressed? Like, can our marriage or our relationship continue? And I really do believe that there's, hope for relationships. There's a lot of things that go into that. So if anybody has any questions, or they want to submit information, or get to understand more about what's involved with sex addiction, infidelity, porn addiction, please feel free to reach out to me. My website is www.cherylcamarillo.com. CHERYLCAMARILLO. um, I do individual therapy sessions with people. I do individual coaching sessions. If someone is looking for an opportunity to be involved in groups, I am, currently getting ready to put together another group. I usually do two different types. One is for partners that are experiencing betrayal, and then the other one is for the person that has sex addiction. They have to be in two different groups initially. There's actually three phases that people, look to when they say, okay, there's some problem sexual behavior here. The first one is, you're going to go through phase one, which is going to be all about crisis. Like, how do you manage everything? What needs to happen? The 100 questions that go through your mind, the, all the problems that you experience or suffer because of finding out about this. The second phase is actually the stabilizing phase, and that's the point where you're working on your therapy, he's working on his therapy, or she's working on her therapy. You start to figure out, like, what all behaviors, what all kinds of tools can you use to bring in to the picture, so that you can address this issue. For the women, it's learning to address some of the trauma that they've experienced, because this is a big blow to the partners. And then for the person with the sex addiction, it's being able to learn like what kinds of things are needed in order to be successful. And can this even be something that can be addressed? So sometimes people use groups. So they'll go to maybe Sex Addiction Anonymous, or Sex and Love Addiction Anonymous. Um, for partners, maybe they go to Sex Addiction, Sex Anon actually is what it's called, S-Anon. Um, there's just a variety of places that you can go to try to start yourself out on that first part of the road. But ultimately, it's really helpful if you go and look for a person that's trained specifically for sex addiction and infidelity. There's two different fields or two different people that do certifications out there. And then there's other kinds of licenses. So you can have, people that are coaches come in and help you through the startup of therapy, and connecting you in and helping you you know set up goals for repairing and reconnecting. You can have therapists that come in and start to establish like what kinds of things need to be in place in order to have the opportunities to abstain in order to get sobriety for some people. And basically that's going to be covering a whole bunch of different areas. Mostly it's um, reestablishing healthy communication, not having a lot of negativity that's going on after the first initial um, emotional upheaval that comes with sex addiction. People have a tendency to want to stay angry and want to stay in an emotional state. And you need to be able to do that for as long as you need to. But at some point, if you are feeling stuck, it's probably time for you to go out and find some of these other professionals. APSATS is one. APSAPS is a group of people that are licensed. And then CSATs, Certified Sex Addiction Therapist. And there's a lot of other certifications that are specialties with couples. The certified sex addiction therapist is capable of assisting the person with the sex addiction and also the family member, part of the couple. So, um, so once you set that first appointment, and a lot of times it's the wives or the girlfriends or the partners that will call in and say, will do you have any openings? Can you tell me a little bit more about what treatment involves? And so I will do a consultation on the phone and be able to kind of start sharing and hopefully building some kind of rapport. The additional information that you're seeking, hopefully that's going to be something that makes you feel a little bit like, if I get just a little piece of knowledge, maybe I'll have a little piece of peace, because this is just confusing. Let's be honest. You know, everything is going well. Meetings. Kids going to soccer practice, plays. Maybe you're part of the PTO, involvement in church. There's so many things that we have in our day to day life, and we're usually pretty packed, right? But when you get into that phase of your life, and then all of a sudden, there's something that gets uncovered, this like huge secret, it becomes disorienting and it becomes extremely painful. And so, yeah, I encourage that there, be opportunities to seek out professionals. So, I'm trying to think what else goes into those first few hours. Um, depending on who you are and the type of way you handle your emotions, you might be the person that decides you're going to, run off and be by yourself because you really need time to think. There's other people that say, oh no, I'm going to be all up in all of the business. I need to know exactly what's going on and start like going through and organizing and reviewing and checking, phones and, checking computers and looking at finances. That's one of the few things that a partner has as far as power, is being able to go in and try to see, like, how long has this been a problem? Um, how has this problem been impacting me and I didn't even know it? Um, you know, were there clues to these secrets that I just overlooked? So you start finding more and more things that you kind of say, "Oh, yeah, that's not a big thing. Oh, yeah, that's just it makes me uncomfortable, but it doesn't mean that anything's going on there. I know my husband or I know my partner." So there's just a variety of things that go into that first 72 hours emotionally, um, in addition to either finding space for yourself or finding space to like start looking for everything. I can't tell you how many partners have told me that all they want to do is get into a safe, comfortable place where they can just sit and cry or just think to themselves. And a lot of times that's hard to do when you have a busy family, you have a career, you have so many things going on, and you just would give anything to just be able to stop and pull away and have a moment to just you know have your emotions. A lot of people do sit in their closets. And I used to try to figure out, like, why the closet? Why not somewhere else? And it has to do with the fact that, you need a safe, secure place. And, having the four walls around you and in the small space is just comforting. I didn't know what the understanding was behind that, and then someone explained the brain science behind it. Things like warm baths. I had no idea that, sitting in a nice tub of hot water is actually a way to kind of feel protected, and you have something around you. So it's kind of like a hug. And maybe that's the other thing. I have some people that will say they spend a lot more time with their kids, reaching out to make sure that they're doing okay, even if they haven't told their kids anything. So, um, I don't think there's anything else. I'm actually going to come back on tonight at 9:30, I think, and I'll do a lot longer time and probably repeat some of the things that I've said today, because this is my first time on here and it's brand new for me. And I want to be as organized as I can to provide the most help that I can. So hopefully I'll see you tonight, 9:30 Central. Um, Bye.